Greetings everyone, my name is Suyash Bajpai and I'm a student of PGDM at BIMTECH. So here with us we have Mr. Tapan Sangal, who is the legal engineering visionary and the architect of KALP. So sir, I warm-heartedly welcome you.
Thank you.
So sir, being the alumnus of the first batch of BIMTECH and being in the blockchain technology, so how can you elaborate your journey?
Well, I would say that my journey has been, so before joining BIMTECH, I had done my law. After doing law, I did my MBA from BIMTECH and I was the first batch, like you rightly mentioned out here.
Right.
After that, there was two choices. Either I take the route of going with the MBA thing, or I use my legal thing with embedded management tools. So I think MBA and law gave me an edge because it's a deadly combination. Law is an environment in which businesses survive, and if you know how to manage, so that's how it worked for me. Initially, I actually, after doing my MBA, I went into practice. For 10 years, I practiced law. Okay. I appeared before Queen's Bench in London. I've appeared before International Court of Justice, been there, done that types. But after that, I got bored of that. Then I joined PricewaterhouseCoopers in the regulatory side. And that's where my MBA tools always help me. The skill sets that I learned out here, they always help me in understanding the business side of things also. So as a lawyer also, if you are not conscious of what's happening in the business world, you cannot do justice to what your client is asking. So that's, I guess, how it helped me. So I was with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I was part of their regulatory team. I was helping them on helping various clients, global clients, on the regulatory aspect. And that's where I learned that what's the difference between doing a regulatory thing and doing the legal thing. So as a lawyer, when you advise clients, the cap that I would wear is that my advice would stand the scrutiny of the court. That's a benchmark.
Right.
But when I went to the regulatory side, I learned that businesses, they don't want to go to the court. Businesses want things to be settled upfront. So that's where how the regulators think, what is the way to work alongside the regulators is the thing that helped me, because from the business side.
Right.
After that, I was not a techie. I always wanted to be a techie, but I unfortunately didn't do anything in tech. So I started an incubator. I was running it, and there were a lot of these IITians and a lot of these people who would come and work with me. I would invest my money with them. But the kind of energy, so I lost all the money in that incubator, which each and every startup. But then that was the learning phase. I learned a lot. What would excite me is the energy, the sparkling things that all these startup guys would have, and sharing that energy with them. And then after that, this blockchain thing, how blockchain came into place, it's a very interesting thing. I knew about cryptos and all, and by the way, I would want to say it on record that blockchain and crypto are not the same thing. Crypto is an app on blockchain, just one of the use cases of blockchain. So blockchain bring in that element of trust is where my interest started. And how it started at that point of time, I was helping some leading, real estate companies in India, and I saw trust deficit in whatever real estate developer would do. And that's when I started, when I came across blockchain, I learned that it brings in that element of trust and what it could do in terms of transparency, in terms of immutability of records, is where I started investing into understanding blockchain. I think in 2014, I wrote my first article where I used blockchain as a medium of trust. And from there it started, and then slowly we came to a point where we started putting together the team, and fortunately I got a huge team today. Currently this is about 350 people spread across the globe who are working on these various aspects. It's a collective vision that all of us have, and it is for me a full circle sitting out here and talking about signing this MOU because I was the first batch, and now I'm here to start and give something to my fellow students and my friends out here.
Right, sir. So, sir, as we know, the technological integration is very complex, right? And it is very tough to deviate in certain specialization. So, if we talk about marketing, finance, and other vertical specializations as well, like BFSI, IT, so blockchain technology, uh, what are the projects that KALP is collaborating with BIMTECH to cater these specializations?
So I tell you what, KALP as a blockchain, KALP is the name of my blockchain.
Right.
So you must have heard of so many other blockchains, like Polygon is coming out with a blockchain,
Right.
Ethereum a blockchain, Solana blockchain. There are a number of blockchains. Most of these blockchains are permissionless blockchains and they are decentralized.
Okay.
So what it means is that there is an element of surprise in terms of the actors who are playing in this arena. Ours, KALP is a permission blockchain. So from day one, we wanted, because I was wearing that regulatory cap, day one we wanted a regulated by design tech. So that's how the KALP as a blockchain has come. And KALP, we have positioned it as a DPI, a digital public infrastructure. So KALP is just an underlying infrastructure. That infrastructure, at the end of the day, what it does is it's a ledger where any transaction that you do is recorded, and that record is immutable and it is transparent and to be seen by everybody. So nobody can, create any false data. Nobody can deviate whatever is recorded, and nobody can go back on whatever they agreed to. That's the basic premise how this ledger works. There are a number of other ledgers that everybody is using, but blockchain does that. And because of the architecture of a blockchain, which is spread in various nodes where each transaction is replicated and there are consensus. So there are a lot of these technical things that come into play. At the end of the day, on top of that blockchain, what is important is the smart contracts. Smart contracts is the programmability of the intention of two people. So the smart contract can capture whatever you want and whatever I want. So now when we talk about different faculties that you've spoken about,
Right.
so the use cases of blockchain as an infra, as a base infra, is there everywhere, even in marketing. So in marketing, like in sales,
Right.
what happens is that your various leads are generated, whether they are authentic leads or not, various things. So all that data can go into the blockchain, and it brings in that element of transparency. And because transparency, so then you can trust. Even in finance, because you are currently relying on so many intermediaries, blockchain is able to help you eliminate those intermediaries. Or you talk about, so with our discussion with BIMTECH out here, my institute out here, is that what we will do is we will bring in the aspect of applied blockchain, not blockchain as a tech. Blockchain as a tech is just one piece of it, but then where all you could apply, what could be the use cases of this blockchain, how you, when you are ready for the real world and you go out in the real world, how this knowledge would help you, so that there is a tech available which you can rely upon instead of relying on people out there. It's a cutthroat competition, all kinds of things happen, there's a lot of gray area. This blockchain brings in that element of, clarity. This blockchain brings in that element of transparency. So that's how it will help, and we want to pass on this entire knowledge. And not only that, we have also started something called KALP Studio. What it does is it's a low-code, no-code system where everything, all the required techs are integrated. So I suppose at BIMTECH we are running a incubator out here where startups are there, because all you guys, at the end of the day, what MBA course does is it implants that germs of being an entrepreneur inside you,
Right.
and those germs need not only your own entho and your passion, it also needs you tools. So this course would help you gain those tools. So, and this tech is agnostic of any industry. So any industry you want to go into, any stream you want to go into, this is a tech which will be a hidden tech but would arm you to work across the industries.
Right. So as you talked about the applied blockchain, so how will this integrate in helping students to develop certain skills? So which will also help them in grabbing internship opportunities or basically be corporate ready.
So I tell you what, outside it's all cutthroat competition.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you would analyze your fellow students, some of them have a base on tech. Some engineers would have come for MBA.
Right.
Some, in my case, I was a lawyer who came for MBA out here. Okay. There are some finance guys who would have come for MBA. So MBA again is an applied thing. Now when you apply for job, you are having just MBA degree, or you are having an add-on degree of, say, finance or law. So you've made life difficult for the person. So what we will do is, it's an add-on skill set that would give you an edge, because you are able to understand what's happening globally. So there is a huge thing coming which is called tokenization of real world asset, which is the next future where everything is going to get digitized. We are living in a world where slowly you are seeing it, India being a digitized country, a digital economy. What that digitization actually means. I mean, just to give you an example, currently we are working on a white paper and some legal opinions on, when you have a digital asset, digital
Right.
asset, okay? Asset per se as a property requires you to have it in possession. What is possession in terms of digital asset? How do you prove possession? So that would come because it is in your control. How does it come into your control? These are the practical nuances that we would want students to know, which would differentiate students, when I say applied blockchain, from other students or other applicant for a job or for an internship, because you're able to demonstrate that you understand what's happening globally. We would bring in that global perspective, a global exposure to the students, and we would also want those students, whoever is having that ability and capability to learn more. So we would help those students to dive deep into it. There are a lot of research happening. We have a research wing. We have a research R&D lab in IIIT Hyderabad, where a lot of new things are happening. So if students have flair for that, we would bring in those elements also, beside providing them the regular course.
Right. So, sir, that's all. And I hope you had a very great journey and a very great time at BIMTECH.
My journey is just started.
Right. So, journey at blockchain industry, I would say.
Yes, it's just
Yes.
started.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.